In the name of Allah, the Rahman and the Rahim. Dear viewers and students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome you all in today's lecture. Topic for today's lecture is Dr. Johnson is a critic. It is one of the topics in history of English literature that is a subject for BS English students. As we know that Dr. Johnson was a very great figure in 18th century, and he was born in 1709 and died in 1784. He is considered one of the important figures in 18th century in London, and he is famous for his clever remarks, and these remarks were regarded by his friend James Boswell after his death. And these remarks are regarding like his views regarding other poets, critics, novelists, prose writers. In these remarks, he highlighted the great qualities of others, the great qualities of critics, the great qualities of dramatists like Shakespeare, Preface to Shakespeare, he wrote about Shakespeare's faults and his great qualities, about his plays. Okay, he studied first and then he wrote about these plays. Like he highlighted the great qualities and the defects of Shakespeare plays. He also wrote James Boswell wrote his life story, Dr. Johnson life story, and his Dictionary of English Language in 1755. It was compiled by, this dictionary was firstly compiled by Dr. Johnson, and after his death his friend printed it. Dr. Johnson belonged to very poor family, but his great reputation, but his great name as a writer brought him the honor, the title of doctor from Oxford University in 1775. Like he was doctored. He got this, he achieved this name, this title of doctor, okay, although he was very poor. His famous lines, like regarding London, he is saying, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. For there is in London all that life can afford. It means that regarding London, he is saying that for there is in London, because there is in London, for means because there is in London each and everything that life demanded. So when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. If a man is living in London and he is unhappy and he is not happy there, he said he is disappointed from life. Although he is living in London, so he is tired of life. He is not tired of London. Okay. Dr. Johnson principal works. He was a very great critic. He wrote in his list of literary works include verse, poetry. Verse means poetry. His poetical works are there. He wrote poems, periodical essays. He wrote novel. Yes, he was a novelist also, and that's why he was able to criticize them. He criticized poets. Okay, he wrote about poets. He regarded poets great qualities in their defects as well, because he was able by himself, he was a poet. Okay, so he also wrote regarding novels. He judged Naval by his intellectuality, with the help of his intellectuality. And about dramatists like Shakespeare dramas, he read Shakespeare dramas first, like his comedies and tragedies, and then he wrote regarding Shakespeare. He listed his great qualities and his defects, his weaknesses as well. Biography. So he wrote verses, periodical essay, novels, drama, biography, criticism, and a dictionary. Okay. First, in the history of English literature, he wrote first dictionary. Okay. He compiled first dictionary of English language. It means that he worked for English language, for the promotion, to promote English language. He wrote dictionary. Okay. His two great poems, like he was a poet, so he wrote poems. His two great poems, London, he wrote in 1738, and The Vanity of Human Wishes, very beautiful poem, beautiful description of human wishes are there in this book, in this poem. He wrote this poem in 1749. Okay. And he compiled dictionary in 1755. He remained, this dictionary remained for a century a work of reference, like scholars and laymen both were taking help from that very dictionary. Okay. References were there, like scholars, great scholars, they were like in the demand of this dictionary. They took help from this dictionary. So it means that it is a great contribution towards English language, and this contribution was like this is contributed by Dr. Johnson. Okay. There are two important works of Dr. Johnson as a critic: Preface to Shakespeare, and the second one, Lives of the Poets. Preface to Shakespeare, I'll explain. In this work, Johnson highlights several qualities and defects in Shakespeare plays. Like he praised Shakespeare for his great qualities. He saw the both sides of the coin, like his strengths and his weaknesses as well. Okay. So like he studied his comedies and tragedies, and then he wrote, and then he mentioned that these are the best qualities, great qualities, these are the strength of Shakespeare works, and these are the weaknesses, and these are the defects, faults in Shakespeare. Like for example, strength of Shakespeare plays, one of the strengths, okay, highlighted by Dr. Johnson, Shakespeare knowledge of human life. He is saying that, Dr. Johnson is saying that Shakespeare possessed great knowledge of human life, because in his plays there is like combination of both evil and evils are there, problems and issues are there. Okay, virtues are there. So both sides, the good sides, the darkness of the life, and the very clear side of the life were recorded by Shakespeare, were depicted by Shakespeare in his plays. So it means that he possessed great knowledge of human life, human civilization, human society, the nature of human being. He was able to record these all things in his plays. So that's why he is praising Shakespeare for his great knowledge of human life. Poet of nature, yes, he is also saying, like according to Dr. Johnson, that Shakespeare was able to record nature. Okay, the true representation of nature. Like, according to Dr. Johnson, literature, like, you should hold mirror to the nature, okay? It is seen by Dr. Johnson. So it was done by Shakespeare. So he praised Shakespeare for this feature that he possessed, okay, understanding of knowledge. So that's why he called him poet of nature. His characters are individuals but represent universality. It is one of the best qualities of Shakespeare, highlighted by Dr. Johnson, that his characters are individual but represent universality. It is the great quality of Shakespeare that by his character he is representing universality. It was a great technique with with Shakespeare, that he took characters, like individual characters are there, but these characters look like universal, okay? Universality is there. He is taking character from the society. He is selecting character from the society, and then he represent, okay, universality. Preface to Shakespeare, according to David Dishes, very great critic, wrote History of English Literature, okay, books are there. Preface to Shakespeare, according to David Dishes, is one of the noblest monuments of English new classic criticism. Like, he is praising Preface to Shakespeare. He has given this praise to Dr. Johnson's work. Weaknesses in, yes, as I mentioned that in Preface to Shakespeare, both the best qualities of Shakespeare plays and the defects of Shakespeare plays are written by Dr. Johnson, mentioned by Dr. Johnson. So we have mentioned these great qualities. Now, what were the weaknesses that were found by Dr. Johnson in Shakespeare's plays? Shakespeare does not give much attention, much consideration, okay, to plot construction. This is one of the defects according to Dr. Johnson. Remember, dear students, he is recording both, he is seeing the both sides, the good sides and the defects, okay, with Shakespeare. So he is saying that he does not give much attention to plot construction. Critics, they are saying that Shakespeare does not give great attention to plot construction due to his time limitation. He was very busy, and he wrote play after play, okay, for the theater. So it means that he was busy. He was he became money-minded ultimately, okay. So that's why he does not give great attention to plot construction. He was in hurry. And there is also problem in his language, according to Dr. Johnson, that his language is very, very funny language is used, ordinary language is used, dialogues are there in his language. So this is also defect in Shakespeare plays, in Shakespeare language. Now, another great work of Dr. Johnson, that is Lives of the Poets, okay. The lives of the poets are discussed by Dr. Johnson in his work. Like, this work is totally devoted to the lives of the poets. He was, by himself, he was a poet. So that's why he wrote regarding poets, that how did they live life, how they how they behave in their life. Either they were happy with their lives or sad. And he recorded each and everything. The minute detail is there, okay. The Life of the Poet, this work, The Lives of the Poet, this work was written in 1779 till 1781. Okay, it was in old age. Yes, when he was in old age, Dr. Johnson, like he was 68 when he began work on this lives of the poets. Okay, it is totally the collection of 52 literary biographies. Yes, so it means that 52 poets are discussed in this work, Lives of the Poets. It is the, like we can say that Lives of the Poets are the stories, okay, of the 52 literary biographies. He wrote about their lives according to Boswell. He was the close friend of Dr. Johnson. According to him, it is like Lives of the Poets. It is the richest, most beautiful, and indeed perfect production of Shakespeare's pen. Like he gave this status to the Lives of the Poet, great work by Dr. Johnson, by his close friend. Acha, the structure of the Lives of the Poets is tripartite, like three angles. He studied Lives of the Poet. Like biography is there, the biographies of the poets is there, okay. Character, yes, their characters are recorded, and criticism is there, okay. First biography, character, and upon these both there is criticism, like their birth, their life, how, okay, their lifestyle, their works, like the poet works are recorded there, okay, and criticism is there over these works. So in today's discussion we studied Dr. Johnson, and he is like his full name was Samuel Johnson, Dr. Samuel Johnson, but he is famous, okay, on this Dr. Johnson. His full name is Dr. Samuel Johnson. Thank you for watching, and like this video. Wait for other videos, for our upcoming videos. Please subscribe this channel if you didn't. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.